Hello, welcome back. This is the Hammer 2.0, and today we're going to be continuing on with Stellar Blade. So, not sure exactly how much of the game we've got left, but um, we're going to find out.
너는 타키를 어째서 자이온까지? 대체 무슨 짓을 꾸미고 있는 거야?
많이 늦었어, 이브. 자이온이 이렇게 된 건 결국 너 때문이야.
인간의 언어를 하다니.
이렇게까지 됐는데도 어째서 그분의 선택은 내가 아닌 너일까? 이만큼이나 증명했는데 어째서?
그분 무슨 소리를 하는 거야?
둔하기는 하지만 넌 그분에게 보낼 수 없어. 너의 모든 걸 파괴해버릴 테니까.
Yep, using the wrong potion there. Instant kills, great. Using range attacks. Alright. Uh, oh, come on. Great, I am out of... Okay, that's not helping. Okay. Alright. I guess that was the insta-kill, even though taking multiple shots at it. Just like, nah. Shotgun, the spread's hitting everything but exactly that one specific point. Oh, yeah, after starting off with the... Okay, well, I got lucky there. Really took away most of my health, just not all of it. Oh, I was trying to heal. I just got multi-hit by the slow-moving AoE. Great, and I wasted a whole bunch of stuff doing that too. Fantastic. Yeah. Ah, no, I'm not even gonna pump on that one because that one just trying to heal at the last second and it just doesn't work out for me. And Overshield is already back. Okay, pretty sure I dodged into it, so I'm not sure why. Okay. Well, this is annoying, but this is, I mean, this isn't like super hard, it's just kind of a pain to deal with. Ah. Just getting that shield up. Or getting the block up so that way not taking as much damage. And of course. Please stop backdashing, that is super annoying to deal with. And of course, it already has full shield back. Oh, that was just too short. Yeah, back to full shield. Oh, that's not good. Especially when you're not picking in. Let's see here. Oh, just a bit. Just a regular dot. Deal that damage to the shield. Yeah, that I will use the pump on. Finally, alright.
인간?
저 얼굴 어디선가?
설마 레거시의 그 레이븐?
맞아요. 그 기록을 남겼던.
맨 얼굴을 볼 줄 알았군.
사라졌어요.
괜찮아?
나보다는 자 오르칼림을 하이퍼드라이브 쪽이야.
Alright. So, what, 2 bosses left and that's it? Can I sit down and heal? Is that something I can do? So it would be kind of nice if I can get all my potions back and everything. Nope, guess not. Alright. They get a lot of extra stuff though, so... I kind of want this shield destruction here. Increases damage to shields. A lot of blood. up a little bit. Guess we'll stick with just the. There we go. Wrong character, wrong game.
오르클레,
늦지 않게 도착했고
이건 오르클레 몸이
이게 내 진짜 모습이라. 난 인간이 아닐세. 안드로에이도스와 네이티브 그 첫 융합체. 말 그대로 최초의 알파 네이티브라네.
그런
과거에 난 무수한 살상을 저질렀었다네. 그런데 콜로니 폴의 여파에 휩쓸려 죽어가던 나를 사람들이 보살펴주었다. 싸워야 할 의미를 잃어버린 순간이었지. 알파의 힘을 봉인한 나는 지상에 남은 사람들을 규합해 자이온을 건설했네. 이들을 지켜주고 쉴 곳을 만든 것이 속죄하는 길이라고 생각했기 때문이야. 마지막까지 정체를 숨기고 있었네만 레이븐을 막기 위해선 어쩔 수 없었네. 알파 코어는 전부 모았는가?
하나만 못 구했어요. 우주에서 잃어버렸어.
그런 게로군. 고맙네. 내 역할을 하나 남겨주어서. 마침내 네 개의 코어가 이곳에 모였고 여기 마스터 코일세. 이걸 가지고 엘더를 만나게. 그 뒤는 자네 몫이야.
Excuse me.
모두 제대로 도와주지 못해서 미안해.
아니에요. 이보와 릴리 덕분에 이렇게 무사할 수 있었는거려.
자이온 걱정은 말라고. 우린 재건의 프로니까 말이야.
모두들 고마워요.
이브님, 중요한 일을 하러 가는 거지요? 일이 잘 마무리되면 꼭 돌아와줘요. 응, 알았어.
전 먼저 준비하고 있을게요.
Alright, so it does list him as another Alpha Natiba. Natiba.
디거, 뭐하고 있어?
이브, 안녕하십니까? 도시 복구를 지원하고 있습니다. 제 특기입니다.
네 고민은 끝났고?
아직도 잘 모르겠습니다. 이 폐허 속에서도 사람다운 삶을 누리려는 자들이 있어 그 대열에 동참할 뿐입니다.
그래, 그래야겠지.
천사가 엘더 네이티브를 공격하러 간다는 이야기를 들었습니다. 매우 위험한 임무일 것으로 예상됩니다. 또 도움이 되고 싶습니다. 특별 할인된 거래를 제안합니다.
고마워, 디거. 나도 최선을 다할게.
Oh, tons of bitcoins. And of course the two I probably need the most of. Yeah, the two limited ones I can't actually get.
떠나십니까? 다시 오실 때까지 저는 시민들의 복구 작업에 도움을 주려고 합니다. 스포터 에너지를 이용해 주셔서 영광이었습니다.
영광이라니, 나야말로.
Beta enhanced gear? I don't think I was using that before. No, protection gear was the last one I need to upgrade.
천사님, 안녕하세요. 모든 게 엉망이 됐어요. 언니와의 추억까지.
미안해. 내가 늦지 않았더라면.
그래도 아직 언니의 기억이 곁에 있어요. 어떻게든 같이 일어설 거예요. 그게 마더스피어. 아니, 언니가 바라는 일일 거니까.
가야.
천사님이 저보다 더 힘이 빠지시면 어떡해요? 그러고 보니 소문을 들었어요. 무서운 네이티브를 상대하러 가신다고.
그래, 엘더 네이티브. 이 모든 일의 근본이지.
그게 죽고 나면 다시 평화롭게 살 수 있는 거죠? 저도 힘 닿는 한 계속 도울게요. 저희한테 희망을 주세요.
그래, 고마워. 믿음을 저버리지 않도록 노력할게.
Yeah, I've already got plenty of all this stuff. Oh, I can now find unlimited number of WB pumps. I've got 18. Or 99 of each of those.
가시나요, 천사님? 당신의 기억이 이어지기를.
당신의 기억이 이어지기를 무사히 지내길 바래.
천사님, 어서 오십시오.
Nothing really to say. Alright, well.
어서 오세요, 천사님.
천사, 자이오는 거대한 희생을 치렀어. 하지만 네가 쓰러지지 않게 지켜냈지. 우린 다시 일어날 거야. 살아남은 사람이 있고 하이퍼 드라이브도 있으니까. 뭐 시간은 좀 걸릴지도 모르지만 자이오는 걱정 말라고. 네 임무를 완수하고 돌아와. 꼭.
그래, 고마웠어, 카심.
도시가 완전히 폐허로. 우린 이제 어떻게 살죠?
선지자님, 파수대 전우들, 다른 시민들, 몇 명의 기억을 잃은 건지 모르겠네.
유감이야. 좀 더 많은 사람을 살릴 수 있었을 텐데.
아니에요. 선지자님이.
선지자께서 너한테 사명을 다하라고 당부하셨다고 들었는데 무슨 의도로 그러셨는지 모르지만 엘더 네이티브가 사라지면 이 잿더미 속에서도 살아남을 수 있을지 모르지. 운명을 넘어서라면서 넌 성공하길 바란다.
그래,
이브님, 제가 할 수 있는 건 노래밖에 없어요. 이브님을 위해 노래할게요.
고마워. 내가 이런 대접을 받을 자격이 있는지는 모르겠지만
Okay, so there's the other protection gear.
우리 자이온의 구세주가 오셨네. 아, 아직 구세주가 될지 아닌지는 모르는 건가?
소문을 들었나 보네.
소문을 들어? 참, 내가 곧 소문이야, 천사. 그래서 이런 상황에 무슨 일이야?
Alright.
이만 가볼게, 록산넷.
그래. 잘 되면 이 폐허에도 한 줄기 빛이 들겠지. 그렇지 않나? 내 다음 사업을 위해 힘내주면 좋겠네, 천사.
잘했어.
Alright, so for enhancement gear, protection gear. I can equip like multiple protection gear, can I? Yeah, I can. Alright. I mean, Judgment is good, but I think I want to go with, more defensive, as we saw from the last fight. Alright, so this one's now completed. So get that one. Go ahead and save.
이제 네스트로 가는 건가요?
그래야겠지. 마스터 코어도 얻었으니. 근데 아담이 마음에 걸리는데.
그러게요. 자이온에도 없다니. 도대체 어디로 간 걸까요?
오다가 무슨 일이라도 생긴 걸까? 바이크의 배터리가 바닥났거나 한 건 아닐 테고.
바이크! 맞아요. 바이크예요. 왜 그 생각을 못했지? 아담의 바이크에 위치 추적기가 장착되어 있다고 했거든요. 바이크를 버려야 될 경우를 대비해서 달아놨다고.
릴리, 어딘지 알아낼 수 있겠어?
물론이죠. 바로 출발할까요? 그럼 바로 정비 콘솔에
Oh, it's at night, so alright, and I don't think there's anything else. I mean, that's nice because it recovers some beta energy with the max level. Alright. Go ahead and follow the
신호가
signal.
약해지고 있어요. 늦기 전에 출발하도록 해요.
그래, 가자.
네, 어서 테트라포드로 가요. 여기서부터는 테트라포드로 지나가기 어렵겠네요.
여긴
맞아요. 네스트로 이어지는 길. 이부도 눈치챘겠지만 바이크의 신호는 이쪽에서 나오고 있어요. 뭔가 불길한 느낌이 들어요.
아담은 대체 어떻게 된 걸까? 릴리, 설마 함께 가려고?
저도 조금이라도 도움이 되고 싶다고요. 맨날 이부에게 신세만 져서.
어쩌면 엘더와 만나게 될지도 모르는데?
그럼 더 좋죠. 이 엑소슈트 만만치 않거든요.
그래, 알았어. 신호가 있는 곳으로 가보자. 여기는
추락한 콜로니 모듈 같아요.
좀 살펴보는 게 좋겠어. 레거시가 있어. 좀 전에 자이온을 공격했던 그 레이븐의 기록.
또 무슨 내용이 있을지 두려워요.
2차 다이브 109일차. 레거시 어카운트 레이븐. 아마도 마지막 기록이 될 것이다. 우린 마더스피어를 인류의 어머니라 부르며 칭송하지 않았던가. 마더스피어는 인류를 파멸로부터 구원했고 우리에게 생명과 요람을 준 절대 불변의 존재였다. 하지만 우리가 콜로니에서 누렸던 안식은 마더스피어의 손에 묻은 피로 빚어진 것이었다. 마더스피어가 일으킨 반란은 전쟁으로 번졌고 인류는 끔찍한 대가를 치러야만 했다. 남아있는 인류는 네이티브로 진화를 거듭했고 그들은 마더스피어가 있는 콜로니로 향했다. 마더스피어는 콜로니의 침식을 막기 위해 궤도링을 붕괴시키고 콜로니 30여 개를 추락시켰다. 지상에 쏟아져 내린 궤도링의 잔해들은 대재앙의 파도가 되어 지구를 휩쓸었다. 그렇게 인류의 문명은 종말을 맞은 것이다. 부어라. 네이티브만이 남은 지구를 기억하라. 최후의 전쟁의 시작과 끝에 마더스피어가 있음을 잊지 마라. 우린 뒤틀어진 장기판의 말이었음을.
그럴 리 없어요. 이건 레이븐의 망상이에요. 생이 황폐해진 건 다 네이티브 탓이잖아요. 우리는 누군가 만들어낸 기계 덩어리가 아닌 거고요. 이브, 그렇죠. 그렇다고 말해줘요. 아담에. 그래. 다이크가 여기 있다는 건
아담도 이곳에 있다는 뜻이겠지.
So looks like this is a classic AI outpacing humans story then. Humans built the machines became way too smart, and that left humans with no other place to go other than self-mutation, I guess.
레이븐아. 이브, 난 알고 있었어. 처음부터. 난 그저 널 그분께 인도하기 위한 도구에 불과했다는 것을. 내가 남긴 레거시마저도 계획의 일부가 됐지. 뭐, 진실을 깨닫고 여기까지 온 걸 축하해. 물론 그분을 만나진 못하겠지만 말이야. 닥쳐! 타키를 그렇게 만든 주제에 진실 따위 입에 다물어 하지 마! 모르겠어? 우릴 속인 건 마더스피어야. 그분이 아무것도 몰랐을 거면서. 난 오랫동안 그분을 모셨지. 누구보다도 그분을 잘 알아. 넌 몰라. 그분의 아픔, 분노, 고뇌를 아무것도. 선택받았다고 잘난 척하는 것도 여기까지야, 이브. 릴리, 이번엔 물러나 있어줘. 이건 나의 싸움이니까. 이 모습으로 싸워야 하다. 마더스 박살병. 그분을 위해서.
I was pressing the back and the dash. I don't know why it did not. I don't know why it didn't activate the counter strike, but
나의 싸움이니까. 이 모습으로 싸워야 하다. 마더스 박살병. 하지만 그분을 위해서.
I would really prefer not to do this fight entirely in slow-mo, because that is throwing off all of my... That is just throwing off all of my timing. The entire thing was just in slow motion. And even there, I was pressing the guard button and it was just like, no, you're just walking around. You're not doing anything.
나의 싸움이니까. 이 모습으로 싸워야 하다. 마더스 박살병. 하지만 그분을 위해서.
Come on. I not sure why it's just like, no, you didn't dodge. No. You did dodge, but it was a quarter of a second too early. Or you did dodge, but you weren't pressing all the way back. You were only slightly back and more to the left, so no. You don't get the dodge.
이 모습으로 싸워야 하다. 마더스 박살병. 그분을 위해서.
Really appreciate it if this was not in slow motion.
모두가 알고 있지만 입 밖으로 꺼내지 못하는 진실이 있지. 너희가 과연 임무를 끝마치고 콜로니로 돌아가 영웅 행세를 할 수 있을까? 넌 이제 지나치게 많은 걸 알아버렸지. 통제할 수 없을 정도다. 마더스피어나 콜로니로 너의 과잉 정보를 물필요해. 콜로니 폴대가 똑같이 버려질 거야. 너희들 모두 쓰레기처럼.
Okay. I pressed the dodge button. I don't know why I did not dodge there. It's super annoying.
잘했어, 이브. 잘해냈어. 뭘 망설이는 거지? 동료라서? 같은 인간이라서? 괜찮아. 우린 인간도 아니잖아. 메인 프레임의 신경 섬유와 엑소스파이는 모두 끊어졌어. 이걸로 더는 싸우지 못하겠지. 넌 내게서 소중한 것을 많이 뺏어갔어. 당내로 끝을 볼 자격을 줄게. 이대로 말이야. 뭐야? 뭐하는 짓이야? 너 따위가 뭔데? 아무것도 모르는 주제. 죽여! 어서 죽이라고! 처음도 아니잖아. 릴리, 가자. 이보, 거기서! 어서 끝을내! 이보! 이보!
Including a weapon core, but weapons at max, so can't really do anything with that.
여기가 네스트.
모든 네이티브가 여기서 태어나는 것 같아요.
그런데 그치? 너무 자연스러운 모습이야. 진짜 생명이 태어나는 건 이런 거구나 싶은.
이 길의 끝에 엘더가 있지 않을까요?
Well, it came to life and then instantly died. Very tragic. Okay, I did get a full heal out of that though.
여긴 영원하고 고요해. 그리고 평화로워. 엘더는 우리가 온
Still a
것을
little
알고 있어.
shy.
어디선가 우릴 지켜보고 있겠지.
So a chance, at least I should have 40. At least. Probably 50.
길 위에 네이티브가 보이질 않아. 마치 누구의 방해도 받고 싶지 않다는 듯이.
After playing for all this time, I finally think I started to realize that the Naughty Buzz, Native Buzz are another way to say natives. So natives of the planet, I guess. I don't know why I didn't recognize that sooner. So even their name is supposed to be a reference to the fact that they're once humans.
레스트에도 캠프가 있네요.
레이븐이 설치한 걸 거야. 엘더와 만나 운명이 바뀐 뒤로는 사용될 일은 없었겠지.
그래도 작동이 돼서 다행이에요.
맞아. 마지막 내 것이라는 느낌이네.
It's at max level, so I cannot upgrade that any further. Why is there a fast travel station if this is the only place that we're gonna have? Not sure, but okay. Yeah, that doesn't look like a big old arena that we're gonna be fighting something in.
끝이 보여. 여정의 종착지가.
기다렸어, 이브.
역시 너였구나.
아담? 아담이 왜 여기에?
실망을 안겨줘서 미안해, 이브. 그동안 있었던 모든 일들, 그래, 그 모든 것이 나로 인해 비롯되었지.
아담, 아니, 엘더라고 불러야 하나? 무슨 짓을 꾸미고 있는 거야? 날 구하는 척하고 내 임무를 돕는 척하고 자이온을 위하는 척하면서 도대체 뭘 원했던 거냐고.
속죄와 치유라고 해야 할까? 하지만 내가 한 모든 일들은 진심이었어.
말장난 따윈 집어치워! 소중한 나의 동료들, 그리고 널 신뢰했던 자이온 사람들, 그들이 왜 죽어야만 했는지 말해!
그래, 너한텐 분노할 자격이 있어. 잊고 말고.
엘더 네이티브, 지금은!
이봐, 들어줘. 먼저 레이븐의 일에 대해선 미안해. 나도 그녀를 완전히 컨트롤할 수 없었어. 그녀도 오르칼과 같았던 거야. 알고 있겠지만 너희는 구인류가 만든 인간의 복제품이야. 그리고 우린 지금 그저 괴물일 뿐이지. 아쉽게도 그 둘은 서로 공존할 수 없었어. 왜 그랬을까? 그건 우리의 나약함 때문이었어. 우린 너희들을 받아들이기엔 덜 성숙한 존재였던 거야. 그래서 그런 어리석은 결정으로 인한 비극이 일어났고, 결국 살아남기 위해 인간성을 버리고 말았지.
그리고는 우릴 우주로 쫓아내버렸잖아.
지상은 두 인류가 공존하기에는 너무 좁았으니까. 하지만 네이티브가 모두 없어진다고 해도 너희가 인간을 계승한다는 건 불가능해. 어떠한 유전적 종의 접점도 없고 만들어진 존재인 것 또한 사실이니까.
그래서 어쩌자는 거야? 이 처참한 사륙전을 이제 와서 멈추자고?
맞아. 난 그 방법을 찾기 위해 수십 년을 연구했어. 진짜 우리 모두가 신인류가 되는 법을. 가장 진보된 유니지너스 바디의 안드로웨이도스, 그리고 적대적 본능에 잠식당하지 않은 최상위 네이티브. 재료는 이 두 가지야.
설마...
그래, 그건 바로 너와 나. 이브, 마지막 거래를 제안할게. 하나가 되자. 너와 내가 하나로 융합하는 거야. 단 하나의 진화한 인류로. 우리가 함께 융합한다면 진정한 신인류의 씨앗이 될 수 있어.
말도 안 돼. 이건 들을 가치도 없는 얘기예요, 이브.
이대로라면 마더스피어는 계속 같은 일을 반복할 거야. 다시 한번 콜로니가 지상으로 떨어져도 이상할 건 없지. 알겠지만 그녀는 멈추지 않을 거야. 이건 인간이 나아가야 할 길이 아니야.
그렇다고 해도 지금 이 융합이 올바른 길이라는 증거는 없어. 특히나 네가 그동안 저지른 짓을 생각하면.
맞아, 릴리. 하지만 난 구인류와 신인류의 구원을 바라는 데 있어서 계속 진심이었어. 릴리, 이걸 받아.
이건
자이온을 재건할 마지막 하이퍼셀이야. 이브가 어떤 선택을 하던 자이온을 구할 수 있어. 그렇게 해준다면 정말 고마울 거야. 그리고 이브, 너의 임무는 나를 제거하는 것. 나와 융합한다면 엘더라는 존재는 소멸하고 마라. 영원히. 이것보다 확실한 임무 한 수가 있을까? 자, 내 손을 잡아, 이브. 널 구하고 우릴 구하고 모두를 구하자.
I'm gonna say not, just because we have no idea what exactly is going to be the result of a fusion. at this point, because the natives have all changed into monsters and stuff, and we're not 100% sure if his research is even correct. So
미안. 이건 받아들일 수 없어.
이브,
마더 스피어의 대의가 아무리 피로 물들여졌다 해도, 그리고 구 인류를 짊어진 너의 책임의 무게가 아무리 무겁다고 해도 이젠 그런 것들로 나를 움직이게 하고 싶지 않아. 난 지금의 모습인 나 스스로 결정하고 싶어. 내가 하는 거야. 너를 쓰러뜨린다는 결정까지도.
그래. 그것도 참 너다워. 완전히 인정해, 이브. 하지만 내게도 지켜야 할 것들이 남아있어. 이브, 잘 부탁해.
아담, 이번엔 이브 혼자가 아니라고.
릴리, 너는 싸우지 말아줘.
누구 맘대로? 어느새
아담,
이런 인간이 나아가야 할 길이 아니야. 모두를 구하자. 하지만 진실은 언제나 잔인한 법이다. 우리는 서로의 거울 같은 이대로 간다. 영원한 어둠 중이지.
wasn't even really attacking there.
너만 사라지면 돼. 그만 사라져. 사라지란 말이야.
릴리, 릴리, 미안.
릴리, 뒤로 피해!
이브, 역시 넌 대단해. 나도 나를 버리고 괴물이 되어야겠어.
이제부터라는 건가?
Those are gone. Oh, come on. That... You don't get any chance there, I guess. That's kind of ridiculous. I was like, yeah, it hit the floor. And here's all your health gone. Do I have to do this whole thing over again? Okay, no. Yeah, I wanted to dodge there, not throw in an attack. Alright, great. So this is this attack here. Oh, great. Oh, that did like no damage. Yeah. Yeah, I was not winning that. I mean, even with the, oh, hold on. I'm sure it didn't refill all of my slugs, so... Because for some reason we can't have a extra load of slugs for any reason. Got no beta energy right now. Sure. Okay. Really? You're just gonna backdash away? Yeah. I really don't like that they put that like right next to the place where you rest, the place where you refill. It's just like, yeah, it's not gonna accidentally ever click that ever. Yeah. I'm supposed to dodge that from behind myself. Yeah, because I wanted to dodge there after guarding, not get the backdash effect. That's exactly what I wanted. Nope, I wanted to throw attacks so that I could just eat a bunch of attacks with my face. That's exactly what I wanted. Ugh. great, yeah. Hit me while I'm healing. That's... real great of you to hit me while I'm trying to heal. Yeah, this is gonna do like no damage. Oh, I do have slugs left. Great. Why does it keep... Great. It's really what I want right now, is to... No! Just stop targeting him! And I'm dead. Yeah, because it's just like, it's like, no, target specifically him. And it's like, no, that's not what I want to do. I don't want to target specifically him. I want to target the thing that kills me if I don't kill it. God, that's annoying. Love it. There we go.
아담, 미안해.
이봐, 이것으로 구인류의 역사는 끝날 거야. 너의 의지가, 행동이, 지금의 결정이 올바른 방향으로 모두를 인도하길.
아담, 안녕.
이브, 별 헤아리는 밤. 미래를 읽는 건 밤하늘의 지도를 만드는 것과 같죠. 그러다 보면 지구로 날아오는 운석이나 혜성을 마주할 때도 있답니다. 그래요. 미래를 읽는다는 건 그런 거예요. 당신의 결정을 존중해요, 이브. 기쁘고 또 슬프네요. 나는 당신들을 기다릴게요. 그리고 확인할게요.
마더스피어.
드디어 끝난 건가요? 그래요. 이브, 그리고 릴리. 집으로 갈 시간이에요. 우린 아직 해야 할 일이...
먼저 마더스피어를 직접 만나보자. 우린 그녀에게 궁금한 게 있잖아.
할머니가 보여요. 그런데
was the end of the game, I guess. There's only a couple of other side missions that I could have done, which included doing some additional fishing stuff, looking for the last fish pictures and stuff. But for the most part, I did everything that I could do on side quests, as far as I know. There was some other stuff that I possibly could have done after like completing some of the side quests and unlocking other side quests or whatever, but main story's done. Game was pretty good. I think that the optimization on it might need a little bit of tuning, but other than that, I think it ran pretty well for the most part. But doing boss fights in slow motion was not very fun. I mean, it's interesting to see, but to actually play it, like, the time is all off and trying to figure out exactly, like, when I should be guarding. I need to guard much, much earlier than I actually should be. So, it's just one of those things where it's like, yeah. I don't know if it was more the engine than the developers or what, but I do know that a lot of people are having a lot of issues with Unreal 5, which I believe this was crafted in. So it could be the engine, it could be just something that the developers maybe overlooked or something like that. Could also be the fact that when I opened up NVIDIA, it tried to auto-set a bunch of stuff, and because of that, caused an issue. I'm not 100% on that. But overall, game was fun. I liked a lot of the mechanics in it. Felt more like DMC than it does Dark Souls, with just some like Dark Souls styles of bosses and things like that. The only DMC I've ever really played was DMC 4. I did try to go back and play DMC 1, but I don't know, it just doesn't feel the best now when you're used to like more updated games. It's not that I thought it was bad, it was just when I play like new games compared to the old ones, and having an action game that has a lot of what was that called? Like single camera viewpoints, like you can't really control the camera, things like that. So you have enemies that can kind of be off screen because you're not close enough to them for the camera to turn and pan. That kind of stuff just kind of makes it a little bit annoying to go back and go through. But I mean, like, I enjoyed like a lot of the Resident Evil stuff and things like that, even though like the original ones, even though they were all from like fixed camera angles. That's because like most of the fighting there is done with ranged weaponry, whereas in DMC it feels like you have to use a lot of more melee combat to do decent damage. I know 2 kind of changes that, but I'm just saying that like with 1, like a lot of the sword combat is kind of like how you actually like get through a lot of fights. But in Resident Evil with fixed camera angles, you can just target something that's off screen. It doesn't have to be like specifically on point. It can be just in that general direction, area, things like that. You're not trying to get headshots or specific stuff like that, so you can just kind of just fire down the hallway and pretty much hit the target. But I do think that the targeting for this game was a little bit wonky, just because with that last boss fight where it's like, yeah, here's a instant kill move that you can't dodge, you can't get out of, and we're gonna go ahead, spawn 6 different things that you have to shoot and destroy, but instead of targeting those immediately when you go into your aim, we're gonna auto-target Adam himself. And so you're not even in the ballpark of like, so you have to like, and then we're also gonna lock it off to him. So you now have to fight to move your camera around so that you're not focused on him instead. That I did not like. That was very annoying to deal with. As we saw, it's the reason why I died the last fight, and I had to use the WB pump to basically continue the fight. But other than that, the ranged option was kind of interesting. I do kind of wish that some of the other stuff did allow you to actually target the instant kill stuff, just to make it a little bit more easy for the player to kind of deal with, because with only being able to shoot it with the slugs, because as we saw when I tried using the shotgun with Raven in native form, like it just wasn't registering it as damage, so it has to be slugs. If you run out of slugs, you're just kind of SOL, which really sucks. The only other thing I could have really used, because when I tried locking onto stuff with the Stinger missiles didn't care about it, they just locked onto the base form. The explosive shot actually did something, which was nice, because I was actually able to use the explosive shot for a couple of the summoned items, but shotgun didn't do anything. If I wanted to try to use the big pulsar laser, that takes a second to fully charge, and then you're only getting you only have like three pieces of ammunition for it, so you're only getting maybe 1 or 2 per shot, so you have to be kind of careful with that. But the range combat, I like how they tried to incorporate it, but I just don't think that it was really, just kind of like the execution, I think, was a little bit lacking there. Overall, the game was a lot of fun. I did enjoy the game. The different dodging directions with like specific enemy attacks, I mean, it makes sense, but like when you're actually trying to execute it, it's I don't know, I don't think the prompt should have been on her sword when you need to press it. It should have been when you see them activate the ability, you press the prompt and then it does the action, rather than they activate it, you wait a second, and then it activates on your side, and then you can actually use the special dodge for that specific timing. But I don't know, it's one of those things where it's like, I can understand if you want to like demonstrate like a specific type of like wind up, or you want to be like, hey, this attack is getting ready to come out, but the timing is different based on the enemies that are using the attacks and stuff like that. That is kind of understandable, but you could also do that just by having the prompts appear on them slightly later, just before the attack comes out. So you're kind of getting that like twitch action that you're looking for with dodging and things like that, rather than they activate, you activate, and then it's available for you. I do like the set pieces. I do kind of feel that they did a decent job of the QTEs. It didn't feel like it was overwhelming. It didn't feel like it was way too prevalent in a lot of things. And I think that's kind of like the best way to use them. So like back in RE4, when RE4 first came out and it really kind of popularized the QTEs, it was because the character was doing a specific action. It wasn't just, oh yeah, I need to do a QTE because I'm trying to shake someone's hand, or I'm trying to do something discreetly and I have to do a QTE for it. It's like, no, you're doing large specific actions in place of specific combat maneuvers and things like that, which allows you to actually get like the thing where she like cuts off arms and stuff like that. Like, that's really good QTE stuff because it feels like you're making like specific progress in the fight, rather than just, oh yeah, you're trying to pick a lock, QTE it. Oh yeah, you're trying to convince someone to do something, QTE it. It's just like, but it wasn't over present. It didn't wear out its welcome. It does make you kind of pay a little bit more attention when you're watching cutscenes, which is kind of nice. You kind of wish that, I don't know, because I like putting down the controller just to like watch the cutscene, just to be like, I'm not sitting here controller in hand like I'm ready to play more. I'm watching the cutscene, so I'm trying to get more out of the story, more out of like what's happening. And the cutscene kind of just, when it throws in a QTE out of nowhere, that does kind of feel a little bit jarring. So just having something where it's like, different possible stylizations of having like characters moving or reacting in specific ways when you have QTEs versus when you don't, so that way the player knows, okay, I can put the controller down for and just like watch what's going on, or I'm not having to like sit there and look for prompts, that kind of stuff. The prompts always appearing in the middle of the screen kind of can be a little bit more debated, just because I think it's a little bit more where the action should be focused, so it's like guiding the eye of the viewer, so that way when you're looking at it and like someone's coming at you with an attack, instead of just putting it like front and center in the screen, it's like look here in the middle of the screen. It should be like on the place where the person's probably looking, which is going to be the blade or the sword or whatever the attack is coming at the player or at the player's character, to then be like, okay, so like I'm already looking here, QT is right on top of it. QT timer is a little bit long, which is not a terrible thing, just one of those things where it's like it can slow down the pace a little bit if you're watching like a highly active scene, you have a lot of things going on, and then the QT is just like up there and you have like 3 whole seconds to do it. It's a little bit too long, but having like 1 or 2 seconds to kind of be like, okay, like I've registered. 1 second is like I've registered the QTE. 2 seconds is I now have the opportunity to actually press it. 3 seconds is just, it's like now I've got, it's like you take 1 second to recognize the QTE, the button prompt that it wants, and then you have 2 seconds to execute is a little bit long. It should be more, I guess, punishing, just because it's like, are you, the whole thing with like QTEs is like, are you paying attention? Like, are you like really watching this, or did you get a cutscene, you just put down the controller and walked away kind of thing? So it should be like a little bit of a shorter fuse, just to make it so that if you're trying to get it, especially like in an action scene, if you're trying to get it to feel engaging and feel like something's really happening at this point, doing that 1 second QTE is very, very different than doing a long 3 second QTE, because then it's just kind of like, I'm just kind of like leisurely gonna press this button. There's not really huge stakes. As we kind of saw with, actually, I'm not sure if that episode's come out yet, but there is an episode of Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth where I actually do mess up the QTE. The first time I messed up the QTE, and it's because I accidentally fat fingered the wrong button, and that's the whole reason why I messed up the QTE. Because I believe it was like press B, and I accidentally like I was holding onto the controller, and I used like like different parts of my thumb to hit different buttons. With like the part that's like closer to the knuckle here, like this is for like pressing like the buttons that are closer to the thumb, and the tip of the button or the tip of the thumb is what I use to press like the furthest reaching part of the controller. And because of that, I just like fat fingered it because I like slammed my hand down too fast, and it ended up hitting the Y button instead of the B button, and I failed the QTE. But that was like an example of like the short fuse and like the action of the gameplay being so quick and fluid that it actually felt like, okay, like the person in the cutscene could mess up at this point. And in Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth, the penalty is you lose some health, which I think is a much less steep penalty, because like in RE4, QTEs were like basically save or die. Like you either press the button on time and you live, or you don't press the button on time and you die, which I think is a little bit too extreme, especially if you're like a distance away from a save point, or you haven't saved recently, or you're trying to do like a limited save run, and it's just like you have to be, unless you like know exactly when the QTEs are, you have to be like super focused all the time. And I don't know, it just kind of feels a little bit tiring when, especially with a game with like a lot of cutscenes like this one, where you have a lot of times where it's just like, we're going to kind of direct your focus, and we're going to kind of, you know, maneuver so that you kind of get a little bit more of the story, and you're looking in specific directions, specific areas, the characters are doing specific things that we want you to see, which is understandable. Like, too many cutscenes can kind of take away like agency from the player, because it should be more about, you know, the player kind of controls what they're looking at or what they're trying to do. But having some cutscenes to kind of like refocus, or when someone says, hey, look at that, giving them the button press to focus on whatever someone's pointing at, or trying to point out or trying to, you know, show the player. That's a little bit different. And I think those are a little bit better than cutscenes because you're not basically pulling the player out of control of the character in order to be like, so you were looking here, but now we need you to look over there. So we're going to take control from you, and we're going to force you to look over this direction. This game does that a little bit, but not enough to where it's like, oh my god, another cutscene. Because there are games that just like wear out their welcome with cutscenes. This game didn't do that, which I'm actually pretty appreciative for, because a lot of it is while you're kind of like in the downtime, in between fights. And I think that's actually really good, because that should be the time where you have a bunch of extra time, especially like with certain mission areas, like when you're moving from place to place, you're going from one arena to the next, and between those two arenas, you have the time to actually sit there and be like, okay, now let's have the conversation with the player to where they're not actively engaged in something and they're actively moving from one place to another. And because they're in transport, they have more time to think, look, like watch certain things, check reactions, all that stuff. And this game actually did that really, really well. I actually liked how much the dialogue didn't feel like it was like in the middle of combat where I'm just like focusing on like the health bar, focusing on how much shield that they have, focusing on what I have, focusing on how much beta energy, burst energy I have, all that stuff. And then like it's trying to like tell me something in the middle of the fight. I'm just like, I did like, especially because I enjoy playing games with the language that they are kind of built around. So with this, it was Korean, just because the studio is Korean, and I kind of wanted to put the game into more of a authentic feel of like, this is how the developers envisioned it, more or less. With Japanese games, that's why I play Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth in Japanese, and it's because I want to have the what's it called, the experience of the game the way that the developers intended it. One of the big reasons why I'm not really a huge fan of like censorship and stuff like that, because I prefer to see how the artist originally intends the work to be viewed versus how people want the work to be viewed, or if they think that something is, I don't know, too violent or something like that. And I mean, like, there are certain like caveats that kind of need to be taken into consideration, but that can be done through the settings menu. You can go into the settings and you can be like, I don't want to see copious amounts of blood. I don't want to see copious amounts of, you know, X, Y, or Z, or I don't want to see a bunch of fan service, or I don't want to see like all this stuff. And this gives the player a lot more freedom to kind of choose like what they want to see. It does make a little bit more work for developers, just because now you have to make sure that certain scenes are flagged in certain ways, so that way things that players don't want to see don't show up. And then it also has implications as to how much of the story is this going to cause them to miss. If there's like this big scene where someone gets, like with Raven at the end, like both of her arms, she loses both of her arms, and then like the center of her torso gets completely like destroyed. So there's a lot of blood in that scene, and you know, if you're just like, I don't want to see copious amounts of blood, well then there's just no blood in that scene. Like, you can still tell she's really damaged, she's really hurt, she's probably not going to survive very long, but it's less about, well, now you don't see like a whole bunch of blood. I mean, you still get the impact of the story of like what's going on, what's happening, who's doing what, all that stuff. But I don't know. It is like one of those things where, because I know in Japan for a while, I don't know if they still do this, but I know when RE7, like the one with the Baker family, when that came out, there's a scene where Jack, the father of the family, attacks the guy that's outside that gives Ethan the knife, and it has like a small portion of like dismemberment, and the Japanese version didn't allow dismemberment to be shown. So because of that, like in other places you actually got to see like the more graphic details, whereas the Japanese version you really didn't. And I think that that's kind of the same thing that you could possibly do with, you know, certain things that people don't want to see, or like if you want to interact with something but you don't want to see specific things, that is more up to the viewer than the initial creator of the work. The creator of the work has a specific vision, has specific things that they want to show, display, create viewpoints of, and if someone wants to view it, interact with it, or anything like that, that's for them to choose what they interact with. And if they're like, I really like slasher movies, but I don't like slasher movies with a lot of blood. Well, you're missing out on a lot of slasher movies, because a lot of slasher movies have a lot of blood. But that's their choice. That's their choice. If that's what they want to view, then they can go ahead and they can view that. But they shouldn't try to make it so that every slasher movie has less blood because they don't like seeing blood in slasher movies. It kind of ruins the experience for everyone else when it's like, no, my ideas, my sensibilities, that is the true north. And it's like, no, that's what you believe for yourself, and that's how you want to interact with stuff. Go ahead, interact with it as much as you want, the way that you want. But leaving things as the original creator intended, I think, is a very, very big part of, because it's like everything has specific reasons and meanings and details, have specific points that they make that really allow developers, artists, painters, sketch people that do sketches, that kind of stuff. All that stuff has specific meaning. Even the individual lines, the individual details, all that stuff has specific meaning. So if you say, I don't like this line, then it's like, okay, then don't look at that line. Or if you want to buy a copy of it, erase the line, that's entirely up to you. But I don't think that the artists and stuff should really be penalized and things like that when they have a specific vision that they want to display, but maybe someone doesn't like that vision, or maybe someone doesn't like the way that it is displayed, or whatever. Which, once you pay for it, once you own it, once you have it, once it's in your possession, you can do whatever you want with it, and I think that's completely fine. So, like, for example, modding. If you want to go through and you want to mod out all the blood, go for it. That's entirely on you. Enjoy the product as you would, because although someone else did make it, there is the original intention, the original design of the artist, of the creators, that's still available for everyone else to enjoy and purchase and like view in the full context. But the issue comes with censorship and a lot of that stuff, that whenever you're trying to like cut stuff out, or you're trying to change the original vision, or you're trying to say, no, we can't allow that because that's XYZ. You're changing what the original vision is, and the original vision can actually suffer for that. And the fact of like the overall cohesion, how much things really kind of appear to work together, or flow into each other, or have specific elements that work differently based on how the original artist kind of envisioned it. That's not to say the original artist is always right. That's not to say that. Sometimes people can make small corrections and it can actually work out better. But the thing is that you want the way that the original artist intended it, because that's how they intended it to kind of come out. Another reason why I kind of really feel that games should kind of have 2 releases, and what I mean by that is basically there should be an artistic release where it's exactly as the creator envisioned it and everything is in place, and then the commercial release, which is any other like studio requirements, or basically people that aren't directly involved with the creative process, all of the changes that they wanted to make. So you could have a commercial release that has all the things that, have specific stuff that's like, none of this, none of that, make it more this way, make it more that way. And so we can see how the creator envisioned it versus how the companies, the investors, all that other stuff got involved and changed it. I think that would be kind of a better situation to have, because then we could actually see, who's making the best decisions. Is it the people that are specifically funding projects because they deal with money, or is it the people that are actually creating the projects and we would see kind of like who's giving the better product, who's giving more out of it. This isn't to say that, you know, again, the artistic release would always be the better version. Sometimes, like, Mass Effect is a great example, where Mass Effect 2, when EA really kind of dove into BioWare's production of Mass Effect 2, they were like, focus less on the RPG stuff, focus less on that stuff, focus more on action, shooting, making the gunplay feel better, more interactive, and just overall like more tight. And that's why Mass Effect 2 is known as one of like the best games, one of the best sequels ever. And that's because people came in, they were like, no, tighten this up, like make this different. So you may have commercial releases that are just better, and that's entirely plausible. But having an artistic release, I think, is also kind of like a way that we can see, okay, so the artist does have a better idea of like what the consumer wants, or the commercial side, the money side, does have more of an interest in what people want. And we could actually kind of like gauge, and then we could choose as a consumer what the definitive edition is, what the more, how would you say, the more optimal product is. And we can see, you know, do the people at the top really know what they're talking about, or should we just leave it to the artists and let artists make video games as they want? I mean, I think that that's how it should be, but what do I know? Alright, do we have any after credit scene? I feel like I've talked like way too much. The journey to find the truth continues. Alright. Anything else? New Game Plus. New skills are added in New Game Plus. Upgrade enhancement added in New Game Plus. Start a new game to receive the Raven suit. Digital art book has been unlocked. Anything else? No? Alright, New Game Plus. All your equipment, currency, items, and records, character enhancements, drone upgrades, acquired skills, owned SP that you have gained up until the previously completed game's progress will transfer to the next game. However, your game progress will reset and will not carry over. Let's do normal mode this time.
최종 브리핑 전달합니다. 현 시간부로 제7 강화 부대는 제3지구를 점령 중인 알파 네이티브들을 섬멸하고 엘더 네이티브를 포획 또는 제거하는 것을 목표로 강화합니다. 드라포드 전기 대기로.
디텍트 라인 임계점까지 1분. 임계점 돌파했습니다. 시드 전개합니다. 코드 레드! 코드 레드!
07531 포드랜딩 완료. 피지컬 실드 제거. 해치 오픈.
지금 어서 제발.
이분, 괜찮아? 여긴 위험해. 어서 내 손을 잡아. 합류 지점은 이쪽.
Well, I am immediately changing up. Okay, so that's the Raven suit. It's a prototype diving suit. So we'll kind of just stick with this. Got a new hairstyle? Oh, it's just all the DLC stuff. New gear, first expansion gear. Shield penetration gear. Okay, interesting. So I can just keep throwing out blades, okay. Increases the attack power for infinite wave. And what is this one? Increase attack power of the Tempest, more effective than damage boost. Deactivate limiters, boost all effects during overdrive, additional increases melee attack power, attack speed, and duration. Okay, so Mother Sphere was the last one. Alright.
넌 왼쪽을 맡아줘. 난 이쪽을 처리할게. 전투 감각은 여전하군. 좋아. 다음 작품은?
합류 지점은 여기서 2시 반에 하늘로 전방이야.
위험했어. 점프해서 조심히 넘어와. 조심해. 리스팅되지 않는 네이트야. 한 놈은 내려만 조심해. 또 있어. 좋아. 계속 가자. 괜찮아, 이브?
바디 프레임이
이거 받아. 응급처치겠지만.
고마워.
놈들이 더 있어.
It's different when I actually have some attack effects. Increasing the damage and stuff
놈들이
like
더
that.
몰려오기 전에 어서 벗어나자.
시야 확보. 곧 합류 지점이야.
이쪽이야. 가든너의 유격을 조심해.
A little difficult to see stuff when there's a big old cloud in the way.
위험했어.
상황이 안 좋아. 벗어가자.
설마 알파 네이티가?
합류한다. 세상에.
스쿼드 생존 시그널이 우리 둘밖에 없어.
이브. 이브, 정신 차려. 내 말 잘 들어. 아직 임무는 끝나지 않았어. 이제 너와 나 둘이서 임무를 완수해야만 해. 알겠어? 이브, 준비됐지?
Oh, that was easy.
알파는 아니었지만 강력한 놈이었어. 잘 싸웠어. 모의 훈련보다 훨씬.
그땐 모두 함께였는데.
바디 프레임에 문제가 심각해 보여. 어서 레퓨지 캠프를 찾아야 돼. 잠깐 이브, 뭔가가 있어. 이브! 이브, 괜찮아? 알파 네이티브. 여기야 친구. 네 상대는 나야. 도망쳐, 이브.
조용하구나.
그래도 긴장은 풀지 않는 게 좋아. 알파 네이티브가 있는 곳이니까. 자, 준비해. 난 이제부터 드론으로 서포트할게.
여기가 에이도스 세븐?
맞아. 인류가 마지막까지 대항했던 최후의 전장. 그리고 거상의 도시라고도 불렸던 곳이지.
뭔가가 떨어져. 낯선 감각. 이게 지구의 비?
감상은 천천히 하자고. 우리에겐 할 일이 있으니까. 며칠 사이 지형 데이터가 변했고. 낙석이 많아. 조심해.
뭔가 다가오고 있어.
이 일대에서 흔한 녀석이지. 최후의 전장에서 전사한 리전은
메모리 스틱에 기호화된 코드가 있어.
보안 코드야. 일종의 출입증 같은 거지. 보안 코드를 입력해봐.
So I do have a
됐어.
couple of weapon cores.
건물들이 무너지고 있어.
도시의 집안이 불안정해서 그래. 곧 익숙해질 거야.
The question is, can I upgrade my weapon more now that I have New Game Plus active?
이런 곳에 리전 캠프가 있었나?
Guess I won't find out immediately because this is just a regular camp, not a larger supply camp. That's not what she was wearing.
왜
아무것도 아니야.
이제부턴 정신 똑바로 차려야 될 거야, 이봐. 오, 리전이 쓰던 보급품 상자.
쓸만한 것들일까?
리전이 쓰던 거니까 호환에는 문제 없을 거야. 빠짐없이 챙겨두라고.
Berkeley, there should be something around on this side. Some good points, good. I do wonder if there's going to be new outfits with New Game Plus.
이브, 조심해. 밑에 금류 봤지? 떨어지면 그냥 끝이야.
Hope there is. That'd be kind of nice.
보급품 상자가 여기에 있었는데
미처 회수하지 못한 건가?
아마 보급품 상자가 더 있을 거야. 생존에 도움이 될 테니 구석구석 잘 찾아보라고.
Alright, well, needless to say, we're doing a different game.
여기와 상황이 비슷해?
그나마 여기는
next
양호한 편에 속하지. 콜로니 폴 이후 지상의 도시들은 퓨전 셀이 남아 있잖아. 자동차 커버를 열어보자. 갑자기. 다행히 퓨전 셀.
So, Soulblade is
퓨전세?
complete because we hit the
고에너지 압축 전지야. 덕분에 지구의 밤은
we hit
아직
the credits.
어둡지 않지.
So next time we'll be doing another game.
인피니티
I am doing
잘 챙겨둬.
what is
지상에선
it?
귀한 물건이
Mass Effect. I am doing Mass Effect Legendary Edition for Saturday. So that's the new game we'll be doing for Saturday. Yep, there he is. So...
메모리 스틱이 날아가 버렸고.
Interesting. So I do have the code. I don't think I'm missing any codes. Grandparents unlocked. Oh, no, so they stripped me of all of my passcodes. Despite the fact that I found every single one. Yeah, I was trying to shoot the barrels, but it was like, no, that drone's busy. Can't do that. Can't let you have access to your weapon.
처리했어. 이제 어디로 가야 하지?
I would say definitely take a lot less damage in normal mode. I'd much rather do that than sit there and try to fight a barnacle. They're just annoying with their big old shields.
당신의 기억이 이어지기를.
So I'm not 100% sure, but are these
이쪽이야. 리전이 표시해둔 마커의 흔적이 있어.
out of commission androids? Are they supposed to be part of her team? Because we just saw her whole team basically
마커를 따라가면 어디로든 길이 나올 거야.
get smushed by the dropship. Or no. I was thinking possibly I could get it there, but no, cannot.
메모리 스틱에 메시지 로그가 남겨져 있어. 그리고 보안 코드도.
스캔 완료. 여길 건너야 해. 내 뒤로 사다리 보이지?
수위가 낮아서 사다리가 닿지 않아.
널빤지를 이용해 봐.
Here? If I can, that'll be kind of interesting. Because there are fish here. I don't know how there would be fish here, but there are fish here. Not what I wanted, but not like I remember going to use it anyway. No reaction doesn't necessarily mean that there's no fish here, but there we go. You can do this probably later. I'm just trying to get to an upgrade panel so that I can actually see if I can upgrade the sword anymore. Deal even more damage. I think the first upgrade panel is where in the parking garage, which it should be pretty close to. But the parking garage comes like right after the library here. I'm still using not what I wanted. Wow, he goes flying when he attacks. Question is, what game should I play next? Because I've already got Mass Effect, because Mass Effect's a really, really, really long game with all three. And it is an RPG, so it is a little bit different. Not really. Yeah. It's not really. It's like a very long RPG, but it is a third-person shooter RPG. So it's not just like a straight-up turn-based RPG. So. Yeah. Should be in here. I think it's like up on the 3rd floor or something. I also want to see if there's new drone upgrades available, because I've only got 6 drone upgrade modules. Yeah, I do not remember it slowing down this much when I first started playing. So I'm pretty sure that the NVIDIA driver update software is what's causing the slowdown. Yeah.
이런 곳에 레퓨지 캠프가
어쨌든 이렇게 도움받을 공간이 있다는 건 다행이야.
Alright, let's see what we got. Yeah, enhance weapon damage. Is that up by 10%? Oh, 10 points? Yeah, not very big. Not as explosive as it was before. Nice, okay. Upgrade Stinger Weapon Warhead. Upgrade Shotgun Shell, Flechette Projectiles. Increases attack power of Shotgun Shell by 20%. Upgrades firepower of Explosive Shells. Increases the attack power of Explosive Shells by 40%. Upgrades Positron Cell with Blaster Cells. Increase the attack power of Charge Blaster by 20%. Upgrades the Charge Blaster Rail. Charge Blaster takes 20% less time to charge up in all levels. I do that. So now we got big beams and then faster big beams. It's 6 to get anything upgraded. Any new stuff in the store? Not really. Just same old stuff that I had before. No. Yeah, I don't know why they would put this like right here. That should be like off to the side to where we want to access it. It's its own thing, rather than sitting it right next to the rest spot where you're always going to be wanting to click. Okay, so this time it's actually got her wearing the outfit.
새삼스럽게. 덕분에 몇 년간 모아둔 엑소스파인 메터리얼들을 거의 다 쓰긴 했지만 괜찮아. 덕분에 서로 도울 수 있게 된 거잖아. 넌 알파 네이티브를 찾을 수 있고 나는 혼자 올 수 없는 이 도시에 왔으니까. 기록 보관소만 찾을 수 있으면 넌 충분히 보답을 한 걸.
걱정하지 마. 도와준 몫은 제대로 갚을 테니까.
Didn't see the save message. There we go. Alright, well, we managed to finish the game, and I'll probably actually go through and play this on my own time, just to kind of see the alternate ending, where if, like, joining Adam does anything different or not, and also see if there's any, like, new suits, upgrades, anything else that's, like, new that I could possibly get. I'll do that on my own time and stuff, but yeah, that'll be it for today. I will be streaming tomorrow. We'll be doing more Psychonauts, and then Friday I have a Creative Corner stream where basically I'll be going over manga that I worked with an artist. I paid an artist to actually go through and do manga pages. I have a bunch of demos done. I have a couple of first chapters done. Unfortunately, due to certain work circumstances, I had to stop working with them. They were fantastic. They were very, very nice. They got things done pretty well. They were willing to make adjustments, corrections, that kind of stuff. So it was really nice working with them. But unfortunately, I was no longer able to because things happened. I had to leave the place that I was working at. I had eaten up all of my savings due to me living in Japan. Because while I was living in Japan, I wasn't working because I was focused on school while I was there. And then after about, so I was in school for about 6 months. Then I went ahead, got myself a part-time job, and then the school kind of the day before the end of the semester, they told me, oh, by the way, you're not continuing with school for next semester. And I was like, but I'm willing to pay you guys to do another semester of school. I had 13 months on my visa for my student visa. And they're like, well, because you had studied in Japan before and you were on a student visa before, you're considered a 2-year student, and our school doesn't accept anything like any 2-year student, anything more than a 2-year student. And I'm like, oh, fantastic, but I've only been here for 6 months. I haven't been here for a full year. Well, you're going into the new school year, so because you're going into the new school year, you'll be considered a 3rd-year student, and we don't teach 3rd-year students. So, yeah, you're done. Get out. And I was like, oh, okay, thanks for letting me know the day before. They're like, yeah, once you're considered quote unquote graduated, your visa is no longer valid. And I was like, fantastic. I really appreciate getting to know all this, in advance, so that I could, get a job and, start focusing on, transitioning. Because my whole thing was basically study for 6 months, because I had 13 months on my visa. So study for 6 months, sign up for the next semester, get that situated, and then start going, and then start working part-time while going to school. And then after school was basically kind of starting to wrap up, move into full-time for whatever place I was working for at the time, just to kind of make it to where I could switch over to a working visa, stay in Japan. But school kind of had a different situation for me, so I ended up trying to reach out to the place that had hired me for part-time, ask them if they could do full-time. They said no, and I was like, great, okay. And so I spent another month just kind of like looking around for a job, trying to get a full-time job. And like I got like interviews for part-time positions, but because I have specific like medical needs of like needing to be near a hospital, because I'm post-heart transplant patient, so because of that, all the places that wanted to hire full-time were all outside of the city. And I was like, kind of can't do that, because that's a 4-hour train trip into the city to go to the hospital once every month for a 4-hour trip back. And then I'm, again, not even living near anything, I'm like out, like not in the city. So it's was a difficult situation. Ended up having to come back to the States because of that. And now I have to work a part-time job due to insurance requirements and things like that. So I can't work too much. If I work too much, then I have to spend an astronomical amount on health insurance. And again, I kind of can't have myself lose health insurance, because I have medications that I have to take daily. So because of that, I can't really just be like, no, forget insurance. So because of that, can't work too much, or I lose my insurance. So that's the whole situation for that. So because of that, I had to go back to working part-time, and I was unable to continue paying my my artist who was working on projects. So unfortunately I had to stop working with him. I didn't want to, but we had worked together for a little over 2 years at that point, so it wasn't like it was just kind of a very quick drop-off. It was something that we had been working on for a while, and then just because of a bad situation, a bad financial situation, I ended up not being able to do that. So, but yeah, we'll be doing a creative corner. I've got multiple things that we're going to go through. We're going to showcase character concepts, that kind of stuff, the world building, what I've kind of built for the world, that kind of stuff. And then on Saturday, from 2 to 6, we'll be doing Mass Effect Legendary Edition. We'll be starting a brand new game. I have beat Mass Effect many times. Love the game series. Ending with Mass Effect 3, again, everyone already knows. Didn't really feel like your choices really mattered all that much to the ending. It just kind of was like, pick the color of the beam, and does Shepard survive or not? That's it. And it's like, yeah, I've made decisions. I've been playing the game since Mass Effect 1, and Mass Effect 3 comes out, and it's just like, not really mattered. That just added more resources to your end resource goal. It's like, fantastic, great, love that. Love that I get to spend hours and hours of my time to get larger number at the end of the game. Really fun. But that'll do it for today. Thank you all for watching. Really appreciate it. Please feel free to check out all of my channels. I'm on YouTube, Twitch, Kick, X, and Rumble. Check out any of those places. You can subscribe on YouTube, Twitch, follow me, Kick, follow me there. Rumble, you can follow me there. X, you can follow me there. So I'm like all over the place, and I multi-stream to all the different platforms all at the same time. So you can find me in any of those places. I stream all those places all the time when I do stream. But thank you all for watching, and I hope you have a good night.